YouTube should be recording now, so I'll do a quick intro. Hey everyone, my name is John, Senior Software Engineer with over 10 years of experience. I'm the lead maintainer of Latterly.io. That's an educational platform that helps you learn to code and land your first or next programming role. Today we're working on Aria's Tale, which is an open source recreational project in the Latterly community. So you can see blog article number 5 talks about Aria's Tale. It's a generative AI and social first gaming experience. You can visit ariastale.com. You can see the drop down for games. There's 2 different games that you can play on the browser. There's a total of like 3 or 4 game modes. A couple of them are offline. So here's a quick start guide for the TTRPG form, which is an offline form. And then you can go to the TikTok, which is a social form. But anyway, we're currently working on the Coliseum. So here's the prod Coliseum game. So you can say, my name is person. You can say, I'm an archer, start. And you get dropped into this Coliseum style RPG. Coliseum style meaning you're just fighting. There's no maps. There's not much narrative. You just sort of like fight and try to get as many victories and points as you can, almost like an arcade mode. Cool, so I killed this tier F, and now we're just immediately to the next fight. Here's a tier C. You see I got some gold, some experience. If I'm lucky, I'll run into a store instance. This is a AAA uncommon, so this person might smoke me. Do I have an item? I don't have any items. And I will run away. I'll run away. They get to keep hitting me as I run away. Here's a single A uncommon. Maybe we'll see if I can take them or not. I don't know. Yeah, they got me. Oh no, game over. We can view the leaderboard, and then you can play and you can try to get more points. That's the state of prod. Now, let me take you to localhost, where we are on the Dreamer feature branch, This is not going to be super impressive because it's currently broken. You have a proper start screen, and now we're having audio. So audio is added. Very soon, I'd like to get animations, some simple animations for those fighters. You may have noticed that the fighter image is always the same for every character, and they don't like move or make any noises. So those are going to be added, and then also maps. And I think that's going to do it for the current feature branch. Pretty soon here, I want to develop parties, and you can like move around a world map and all that stuff. I've been using Claude 3.5 Sonnet model with the projects for development. It's been going pretty well, but I'm out of prompts at the moment. So we are falling back to GPT-4o. And I prompted GPT-4o with the current issue, which has to do with text rendering. And so we'll dive into this and see if it fixes it. But let's see if I can demo the current issue. Yeah, text is just not being rendered. That pretty much summarizes the current issue. The text is supposed to be rendered in a typewriter format, so like character by character. And it makes like keyboard sounds. So there's like a type text sound, and then there's a dialogue sound, which is like when an NPC is talking. So hopefully we'll get to do those things in today's session. Thanks for joining. If that made sense, drop a like on the video so the algorithm will send it around. If it didn't make sense, feel free to drop a question or comment. And we can do those as I go along. No need to stay till the end. We'll make this an interactive session. By the way, if I don't get to your question or comment, you can join the Discord under the community tab at Latterly.io. And you can always drop a question or comment there. The video will be recorded and saved to YouTube. Link in bio, YouTube channel, playlist tab. Okay. And so if you're watching this later, you can also come drop your comments on the Discord or on the YouTube video page as well. Okay. Final note, if you're on TikTok, then you'll be able to see the whole screen if you go over to YouTube. So TikTok, y'all are going to have a hard time seeing the console logs in my developer log. Actually, I guess YouTube will too because my face is sort of over it. Let's see if I can move that. Oh, that didn't work. Can I move my face up? No, it's just going to be partially covering it. But you can see I have some logs. So you can see character creation scene create started. Okay. So I tell GPT, consider this phaser scene. I give it the scene file. Where's VS Code? So here's my scene file. Phaser implements things as classes. Not really idiomatic in React world, but they work quite well. So I'm not mad about it. And like the first day, it was kind of weird. But after a couple of days, it's like this organization works great. Actually, Phaser 3 has been a really powerful toolkit. I'm really impressed with it. And this is one example. You can create your own custom events. So moving into an event-based model in Phaser is actually really straightforward, which I love. So you can see this integrating with Socket.io for multiplayer, Datadog, and more. Okay. So this log shows up. So we're triggering the create method. Great. I never get to scene ready. I never get to this method. So that's a problem, right? So even before I go to GPT, here's my suspect region of code. I guess I can add a log here to see if we get this far, but really I think something is going wrong in this create buttons function. I think something's going wrong here. And this is compatible with the observation that this button is never painted or rendered. So I'm supposed to see a button that says continue listening. But here in the UI, you can see it's just blank. That black square is the canvas where I'm supposed to see I'm supposed to see text rendered and a continue listening button rendered. It's just blank. So that's the bug we're dealing with. So I explain this to GPT. I say, hey, look at this code. And then I say, why do I see this log, but I don't see that log? I also do not see any error in the console, and I do not see the continue listening button painted or rendered. Okay. And I'm reading this answer with you for the first time. I just started up the stream before I even read it. So let's read it. GPT's diagnosis is, it's likely due to the sequence of event emission and handling. So one thing that I notice, we'll see if GPT brings this up. I don't have an explicit listener for my own event, do I? So I emit the event, but am I even listening to the event? Like, maybe not. So I'll consider that as a follow-up question. Unless this solves it. Maybe just reading through here will solve it. So ensure that the scene is emitted. Ensure that it's emitted. Ensure that the event listener for scene ready is listener. Yeah, see, I don't know that I have a listener. Okay, so add console logs before and after the emit and once lines to ensure. Oh, is once a listener? Let's see. Okay, this is my listener. This is my listener. So I have a log here. Before listener and after listener. Let's see if I see these. Yeah, okay, I see both before and after listener. See both before and after listener. This did not trigger for some reason. Thank you for the likes. Given this implementation, I see both before and after logs, but the log inside does not run. Thank you for the likes. If animate text involves asynchronous operation or delays. Did I not give you the definition there? Okay, I'll also give the language model the definition. This is a utility function, so it's not defined in the current scope. It is a weirdo. It's a weird method. It involves queued operations, but I don't know that it involves async operations. Also, it doesn't matter because we never get that far, right? Below, I've included the definition of animate text below, but it shouldn't matter at the moment because we never get that far. Now, maybe we do get that far and there is an error within the closure that is unlogged. That's a weird possibility, but never say never, right? Shout out to Bieber. So let's go over here. Let's say that I do get into my custom event and then something errors here and it's like a silent error. So let me literally comment all of this. And so it only has the log. That should really get rid of the possibility that there's a silent error being swallowed up in some sort of like async process. Godwin says, do you have a YouTube channel where I can start learning? I don't know much about coding. Yeah, I do. So link is in the bio. Thank you so much for asking. And you can also go to Latterly and sign up for free. And there's like this checklist that will also teach you how to code. Okay, so I commented all that stuff. Let's go over here. Yeah, see, I got before listener, after listener, and I don't have that intermediary log. Because we never get to the logical step where it is invoked. I think that was clear enough. We'll see. I'm sorry I can't assist with that. Are you okay? Refused when it shouldn't have. What is the problem with TypeScript game development? Are you sure you can't assist? Yeah. Sometimes I've seen it like in the past month, really. Previously, it didn't do this. But in the past month, I guess it's like really, really censored now to where it's like censoring things I don't even know. I don't even know why it would be censoring. Maybe it ran across the word destroy, like, and that was triggered something. I don't know. But sometimes if you just question it, basically, and if you're like, hey, I'm trying to program, is this like bad for some reason? Oh, see, yeah, I have the word destroy. I think maybe this is totally speculative. I'm not sure, but it might freak out on the substring destroy. But if you're just like, hey, I'm programming, are you sure? Like, what's the problem? It's usually fixed it for me. No matter how hard this dude tries, he'll never be an actual engineer. Ooh, sick burn, Anon. Thanks. So I have been programming for like over 10 years, remote, multiple six-figure jobs, companies, like Amazon and Capital One. But shout out to Anon. So here, Oh, we want to set up the listener before we emit. Yeah, that makes sense, right? It is emitting and it's processing the emit serially before the listener is there. That totally makes sense. I dig it. So I'll uncomment that. We'll go to my create method. I don't think I need those anymore. And then, yeah. I could put a comment here that says emit scene ready event, but that's like a classical case of like, this code already says that. The reason this comment is kind of interesting is because once is not obviously a listener to me. Now, maybe I want to set up this even before I create buttons, eh? That's going to lag the view render. That's going to lag the view render. So no, I want to do the view render before I set up my listeners. So render view, set up listeners. Yeah, it's weird because it makes it seem like this emit is also a listener, which it's not. So I'll give it a comment, even though it seems redundant, just to separate the block from setting up listeners. Let's see. Nice. Now we have our typewriter effect. Okay, and so I can continue listening. This is the next problem, yeah. Okay. So I'm staging that. I haven't committed it yet, though. This entire commit block, if I roll it back, I don't see this error. And I'm actually able to get through the dialogue steps and the character creation. So I don't actually want to commit it because I'm not sure that it's an improvement. Once we get past this error and I can be assured that it's an improvement, I'll commit that altogether. D says, what are you doing? We are coding Aria's Tale. So ariastale.com. If you go to the games and if you go to the Coliseum, currently it has this like arcade style fighting experience. Some of the things that I want to do, I want to have better pictures. I want to have audio. I want to have some animations, and I want to have a more interesting like game start screen here as well with a little bit of narrative. So there's, it's like 3 or 4 objectives. It's probably too much, but it's a side project, so whatever. And a commercial project, I might split these up. Okay. What animation library? It's Phaser 3. Phaser 3 is the game engine. So it's a whole game engine, and a submodule of that game engine has to do with animation. Thanks for being here. If the video is interesting to you, consider hitting the like button, sharing it, following the page, and so on. We'll make an animation after this error is handled. We want to get stable before we implement feature enhancements. Okay, so yes, that fixes the event issue. Now let's move on to a second issue, to a different issue. So I start my game. This text string is not working, so that's bad. But I'm really worried. I'm more worried about the continue listening issue. So when I click continue listening, boom, it made the sound, right? So it started, and I have logs over here. After calling animate text, then it errors. Yeah. Now let's move on to a different issue. As a user, when I click the continue listening button, then the UI errors. Let's do it like this. Then the following logs are observed, ending with an error. Yep, and here comes GPT. Why not use Cursor? I don't know. Maybe I should use Cursor. I used Cursor. I don't think I've used it since February, and it just was not as good as GPT-4 at that time. Maybe it's better now. I think they included GPT-4 in Cursor now, didn't they? So I don't know that I can easily switch between GPT-4 and Claude though. So I was using Sonnet like before the stream started basically, and then I ran out of prompts, and so I switched into you can use any model. No, they're not all free. They're not all free. If you're asking why not pay for my own like API key and stuff, I just don't want to deal with that work basically. Like I already pay for the premium, so I don't want to have to deal with my own key as well. Okay, and there's the issue. Okay. You can use any model in Cursor. It's worth $10 for unlimited on Cursor IDE with AI. If that's true, maybe I should check it out. I don't think that's true. I don't think you, no, actually, I'm sure that that's not true. You cannot pay $10 a month and get unlimited with any model. That's just not accurate. You can get the premium Cursor for $10 a month. Oh no, they don't even have a $10 a month tier now, huh? So yeah, unlimited slow GPT-4 uses. It's not unlimited use of any model. It's true, LOL. Like, what are you talking about? I'm looking at the page right now. What do you mean? What am I missing? Educate me. I'm sorry, I can't assist with that. Yeah, why does it keep doing this? I don't even pay, but somehow have unlimited. Yeah, I don't know. The error you're encountering typically occurs when the scene or game objects are being accessed after they've been destroyed or improperly initialized. Yeah, that's right. The sys property is on the game object. make sure that the scene and game objects are not being destroyed or set to null inadvertently before the button click handler is called. It's a good point. Okay, what do I do with the scene? So the scene is going to be this. I don't call this dot destroy, but it could still be getting destroyed somehow. I do have destroy on text, I think. So here's current text animation dot destroy. Okay, maybe it's to do with this, huh? So let me get rid of this skip handler, text object destroy. The only things that I'm destroying are the text object and the skip handler. Yeah, it could be either one of them. Could be either one of them. And this remove all events could be doing it. I'm going to start by commenting the skip handler. And we'll see if that helps at all. So this means I won't be able to skip the writing of the text. We'll have to watch it write all the way out. Might as well make it in Python. Yeah, so I have contributed to Pyodide, if you're familiar with Python in the browser. So like I actually created the GitHub issue that they filed for that. So we might go back to that, but it was really, really buggy. It was really, really buggy last time I tried. If you've been following Aria's Tail development, like I've done like 3 or 4 streams on that, implementing this in Python. Okay, so when I don't have a skip handler, it works fine. An archer called Nova. That's randomly generated, by the way. No code script coming soon. What does it mean? No code tools have been around for a long time. I've always seen that they're mid. Oh, what is your name then? My name is Billy, and I am, oh no, this overlap is bad. This overlap is bad. I'm a warrior. Okay, and so now we get to the game. Oh, I just wasted all my health. Hey, I got a store. Do I have any money? I have 9 gold. That's not gonna help. And now I ran into an S tier rare. Yeah, I'm cooked. I am cooked. Use item. Yeah, I'm cooked. Okay. View the leaderboard. Everything else pretty much works. This is really good. This is a really good step forward. Yeah, there were 2 problems, right? One problem, I cannot skip the text writing. I want to be able to skip it. Second problem, the overlapping text on the custom name input form thing. Those are relatively small issues, I believe. So I'm going to go ahead and commit at this point. I'm going to say to do fix skipping animation. And so what will be the feature here? Oh, I don't need the scene with ready thing, actually. Cool. The feature here is a bunch of logs and clear text. The real feature is now we're using an event system. And there's like there's like a bunch of changes. You see how these are literal offsets and these are relative offsets? That's another improvement. Sorry, a bit boring. Yeah, welcome to coding. Welcome to coding. Okay, so we pushed it. That's great. Now I want to fix the issues. Let's deal with this skip issue. It's closer to the context that GPT already has. The issue was due to the way that we are skipping text animation. When I comment out the ability to skip, the issue is resolved. Now, let's alter the approach to constant animation so that I can restore this feature to the end user without creating an error. Console log, Nadimu. Long time, how have you been? I've been well. I think you changed your username, didn't you? Or was that your username before? Wasn't it Kirito before? Remind me. Oh, nice. Did it give me the whole method? I love it when it just does it. You know what I mean? I love it when it just does it. Handle any potential null references. So we'll look at the code diff. I'll just throw it in, and then I'll look at the git diff. Command Shift down, enter Command V, Command S. And then on the left over here, I have the code diff. All right. And so obviously the one diff is that we've uncommented it, right? Nothing above I can see from my summary timeline on the right. Nothing above here has changed. Okay. We explicitly check sys is active. We explicitly check scene sys is active. That's interesting. Thanks for the follow. Drizzler, what are we making here? What's good, Laterally? How's it going, Miles of Iron? Welcome, welcome. We're making a game. We're making a game. So here is the Coliseum game in prod. So I can say my name is Miles of Iron. I'm a warrior. And this is how it looks today in prod. It's pretty basic. And all the characters have the same picture, and there's no animations, there's no sound. But you do get these randomly generated enemies, and there is a little bit of strategy. Basically, the extent of the strategy is who do you fight and when do you run? That's the extent of the strategy in prod today. And then occasionally you'll run into an item that you can use, but that's relatively rare. Here's a common E class. Got him. And now I'm toast. I have a common weapon. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah. And so then I get a leaderboard and you get this arcade experience. I'm more of a chaotic wizard. Hey, to each their own, eh? So I want to add some enhancements like audio, more narrative context, and a whole bunch of other stuff. You got to start somewhere. It's very, very basic right now. Eventually, I'd like to do like multi-classing and parties and all that. So what's the framework? It's Phaser 3. Phaser 3. Oops, I said Phaser 2. Sorry. Phaser 3. And Aria's Tale is open source, by the way. Reminds me of the old Drug Wars game from 1984. That's right over my head, bro. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Good to see you. So it's HTML5. Yeah, this is a web game. It's browser-based. We're in the browser. Now, yeah, well, let's not go on a rabbit trail. We're basically in the browser. That's kind of the point. Cool. So what am I doing now? What I'm doing now is I'm looking at this proposed fix from GPT-4. So the main thing it did is it just did a null check. Like that's all it really did, besides uncommenting it. Maybe that's all it needed, right? Can I just do this? I feel like that reads better. How do you like Phaser 2 Godot 4? I have not used Godot. Why did I avoid using Godot? Oh, I did a stream on this where I compared contrasted frameworks before. But I can't remember my reasoning. Does Godot use a special syntax? Yeah. So Godot uses like Godot script and C# and .NET. So that's the reason that I avoid it. Yeah. I don't want any special syntax. So Latterly is dedicated to teaching people to code. So I need a language that is a general programming language, not a specialty game engine language. So that's an immediate rule out. So one of the things that's great about Phaser is it uses the stack we already teach, which is web technologies. And even if you go for like Pygame, it's still like idiomatic Python. It's not like some weird thing like GDScript. Does that make sense? Would you make a blackjack game on this? Yeah, you could make blackjack super easily. How's the animation? I haven't done animation yet, so I couldn't tell you. Oh yeah, I have. Okay, hold on. I'm not an animator, so I'll show you what I got and you're going to hate it. So in a different game called Fighting Game, which is like a Smash Bros type clone, this game, don't roast me, bro. The sprites are messed up. The sprites are messed up. So this is what we got. So here's what I like about the animation. It's smooth movements. You can see we're jumping. All right. It's rapid. It's smooth. It's only like the reason it looks stupid is just because I couldn't do the sprites correctly. That's not on the game engine. You see what I mean? So please pull request. All right, please roast me. Please roast me for that. I deserve it. Rook and Pawn says, I was a contributor to Core Phaser Scene Subsystems and Transitions. It's an honor to be in your presence, Rook and Pawn. Thank you for being here. Aria's Tale is totally open source. So please do check it out and change it. If you have like best practices, or if you'd want to add new features, like comments are welcome. Miles says, nah, if you're a developer, it's about the back end, no roasting here. Bro, you're blessed, bro. I appreciate that. That's the culture we need, right? That's the culture we need, dude. Still, at some point, I'll clean up the sprites, but and I want to say, but not today, except it might be today. We'll see. We'll see. I'm focused on the Coliseum experience right now. And then I'll circle back to the Smash Bros thing later. So I showed the RPG to my wife and she's like, I hate RPGs. She's like, can you do something like Smash Bros? So that's why I make the fighting game. Clearly the sprites were just missized. That's a Monday detail. This guy gets it, man. I hope you'll follow the page and hang around, dude. Like you're the kind of person that I wish there were more of. All right. Really positive attitude. Love it. All right. Let me not lose my progress. Okay, so this code looks good. Let's give it a test. Now I'm back on the Coliseum game. I'm starting. we think it's going to work if I let it type, but I want to do the skip animation. Okay. So there I clicked and it successfully, you see how it just snapped to all the text being there. That's the point of this feature. Ah, there's a flash. I hate the flash. So there's a two-part issue here. If I wait a little bit and then hit the button, it snaps the text properly. But if I click it immediately, there must be a set timeout somewhere or something like that. Or maybe it's during, yeah. Let's take a look. So I'm waiting. And that snapped correctly. You saw that, right? Now let me go to the next one. I got the sys issue anyway. Reading sys. So the null object here is the scene. Yeah, that's what's going on. The null object here is the scene. The scene is null. Okay, let me inspect the usage locations of the animate text. So what am I passing? I'm passing this. I'm always passing this. So at no time can this be null. So it's got to be an issue which is quarantined to the closure invocation of this method itself. Yeah. So basically, it's the same problem. It's going to be one of these. I mean, I can just do this. I can just do. Now it might still come down an error over here, but let's give that a shot. Let's see what that does. So when we get the pointer down, it's going to trigger this function. There's nothing wrong with this unless the scene doesn't exist. You're clicking before it's rendering most likely. Yeah, that could be. So there's two issues. I want to take them one at a time, but when I get to that, I think you have a point. Okay, so here I am. Pick your character. We don't want to do this one. We want to go to the Coliseum. Oh, do I have like two browsers open or something? What's going on? You can hear the one audio play. So where's the play button? Scene sound.play. You can hear it play once and then it breaks. So play sound is called animate next character. Just sharing horror stories from Angular. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. We could spend a lot of time talking about horror stories from Angular. Yeah. So there's the scene, I think the issue is that the scene is destroyed and it's maintaining a reference to that old destroyed scene. So how do I give it a new reference to the scene? I need to like pass through a new reference to the scene. Am I shadowing? So I have this scene up here. This might be a shadowing problem. This might be like an old scene reference. Yeah. I think that's what we're dealing with. Let's talk to ChatGPT. Check if text object in the scene are still active. Okay, the problem is that the scene might be null in this context. there may also be a shadowing issue internal to skip to const, where that closure is holding an old or null or like destroyed scene reference over the current scene. Okay. The problem is that the scene might be null in this context. As a user, even if I change the logic, the null check to this with an explicit scene check, even if I change the null check to this, the user may still, the user still observes, the user still observes after the it's not a memory issue. Hey, Ryan, welcome. Can you set up me for my VS Code, please, my VS Code? Yeah, if we do a one-on-one call, I can help you set up VS Code. Do a check on if the property is null. No, I don't need to check if the property is null. The scene might not exist at all. You see, cannot read properties of null. The null here is scene. Scene is a null reference at this time. That's what the complaint is. Does that make sense? Even if I change the null check to this, the user still observes it's because you did and. I mean, we can, okay, maybe. All right, let's try this just for, hey, it's always worth checking, right? It's always worth checking. So let's do one of these. Instead of the and, I'll do it that way. I'll do it that way. Let's see, maybe that's a little more robust. The object was probably never properly instantiated. Hey, Harvey, I think you might be right. I think you might be right. And I'm hoping to have, so let's just see if this fixes it. I'm hoping to have GPT suss out and instantiate it properly instead of me having to put on my detective hat. But we'll get it fixed one way or the other. Dang, nope, it's still happening. So we do see after calling animate text. Yeah, there's a this step callback on what is this, the game or the scene? It's either the game or the scene. Yeah. Okay, it's on the scene.sys. Okay. I guess that's worth passing on. So even if I change the null check to scene, the user still observes cannot read properties of null, reading sys, after the text, the skip animation and new text render is called. The error is occurring internal to phaser in a bit of code like this. I would just see if the scene, not the scene properties. Oh gosh, it can't assist with that. Yeah. So we tried the short circuiting, and now we've tried them combined. I think it will still throw it when you hit the properties. It should not. We're doing a safe navigation. So somehow we're getting a null reference because it's being destroyed improperly. The game code, and I'm going to emphasize that it's a game because it sees the word destroyed, I think, and it freaks out. Although we didn't have the word destroyed in here, did we? The game code is destroying the scene reference somehow, and I can't get it back. Why? Are you sure you can't help with this? Yeah, cool. Seems how the reference is handled in the closure. Yep. So we can bind the skip animation to the current scene. Yep. That's what I'm expecting. And so now scene here is still lowered. Scene here is still lowered. Where did you bind it though? Skip animation. Bro, where did you bind it? I think the idea is right, but I don't see how it was actually bound. All right, let's try this. Would you buy a Hellcat? Is it a good financial decision? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. That didn't work at all. Is this a class level function or external? Do you need to feed scene into that function? Hey, John, yes, I think that is the problem. And so when you say feed scene into the function, another way of saying that is to bind scene into the closure. Actually saying like those are the same thing. Those are the same thing. So I agree we need to do that. And even GPT said so, but like I'm not seeing it implemented, even though it said it was a good idea. he's like, you're right. I said that and I just did it wrong. My bad. Oh, GPT. Can we use safe navigation syntax instead? Is there anything wrong with? Cool. The first scene did show, right? Yeah. The first scene does show. And we can even, conciseness. I thought it said consciousness. Oh, like, oh. I saw it at the top as a class level property. Looks like it should be accessible in that function. I'm not sure what you mean by it. So scene is a class instance. It's not a class level property. It's a class instance. this. Why is it saying this here? I learned about safe navigation. Cool. So here we're passing seen. I don't like the way it's bound here. I'll try it. I don't like to use the this keyword. Should that be seen? Oh, I got you just hopped in trying to catch up. Yeah, no stress at all. Thanks for being here, by the way. Still not working. Still not working after calling animate text. I don't like the usages of this in this function. Can we, I'm not going to say can we, I'm going to say refactor to use an explicit variable. In addition, the code you, I'll do this the other way. This code still errors after logging. In addition, I don't like the usages of this in the syntax. Consider a callback function or an event-based implementation over a closure. Yeah, the whole closure pattern is creating weirdness. Consider not using a closure at all, perhaps an external function, a callback, or a different event-based pattern. Do you have a keyboard off screen? Yes, I do. Yeah, I have a Wi-Fi keyboard as well. External function, great. That's going to be much better, right? I mean, it said it, but then it didn't do it. Boo. You nested inside of animate text. Go ahead and move it fully out. So this will be nice so that we don't have a nested function that will simplify the closure. As long as we're doing this skip animation, it doesn't actually remove the closure, but I think it simplifies it. You see, now we have an explicit scene that's not a shadowed scene. Earlier, I suggested, am I shadowing? And GPT just didn't even address that. So I'm still worried about it. Cool. This, I don't like the delayed call either. Maybe that's fine. I mean, how else are you going to do it? Maybe that's fine. I'm going to be sus on the delayed call, but let's see. Why does it delay? It's for the typewriter effect. Good luck. Thanks. Okay, so this is better. Now, but it limits my ability to skip to one time, which is not ideal. I'm going to go ahead and stage it anyway. Hey, Sam, what are you doing? She's not in her bedroom? Yeah. Where is she? How are you in there, Ellie? Where? Sam, where is she? She's in her bedroom. I think she was hiding. Okay, go in your room, Sam. Boy, kids napping, right? Okay, so this is good. This is good. By the way, what are you working on? ariastale.com. Thanks for the question. ariastale.com. If you go to the Coliseum game, that's specifically what we're working on. Okay. Now the skip works once without error, but the user cannot skip subsequent text streams. I'm going to go ahead and commit this just so I can see a better diff. And so this is fix sys null reference. So we fixed the sys null reference, even though we didn't quite fix animation overall yet. Change scene input once to input on. Hey, Sam, turn the volume down. Sam? Then how did you change the channel? I didn't change it. It just changed itself. All right. Okay. This seems good to me. Let's test it out. Look at the diff over here. The once versus on diff. Super good point. Now, why do we also want to do off? So it's an explicit off. Okay, good. So we're not just accumulating listeners, right? Because we're going to have distinct listener per text, basically. So really good that it caught that. I didn't even think about that. I want to fix that flash of the title being at the bottom and then jumping to the top, but that's outside of the phaser instance itself. Nice. Okay, we got a bunch of it fixed now. This overlapping text issue is a different issue. So let's deal with that next. So here, this is fix skip many text animations. Then I'll also need to fix the npm run build so that I can actually get through my pipeline to prod. One thing at a time, eh? Oh, we've been on here an hour already. Time flies. Okay, so this now works well. Let's move on to a different issue. As a user, when I click through the continue, listen buttons, and eventually click, hey, that's not me. I don't even need to deal with these. When I can just say, when I click, hey, that's not me, then the, oh, what's your name text is overlapping on my class selection buttons. Is this a solo project or community open source? Totally open source. ariastale.com. Throw some likes on the video for open source, eh? Let's support open source. So if you go to ariastale.com, you just scroll to the bottom and see the GitHub. Contributions are welcome. Actually, it's also in the heading as well. So Latterly is very, very open source first. Thanks for the likes. Community-oriented social first. You can go to latterly.io and join the Discord. So if you want to talk to the community, like, hey, what issue should I work on and stuff, come join the latterly.io Discord. Link is in the bio. Thank you for being here. Quick reminder, if you're on TikTok, you can go over to YouTube or Twitch. Link is in the bio for that as well, and you'll be able to see the whole screen. Increase the Y position for the prompt text and reject suggestion. Good. Very good. And okay, great. It picked the two functions that I'm expecting a change on. So I'll highlight this method and overwrite it. Adjusted Y position, I don't need that comment. And then show name input. Let's go find this one as well. All right, so I'm refreshing the screen. Hate that lag there. Ooh, that's interesting to note. If I skip and then click, it works. But if I directly click the button, it gets mad. All right, we'll fix that as well. Oh, the My Name Is button is not vanishing. I think I mischaracterized the issue. Right. The problem is that the My Name Is button is not removed when it is clicked. Let's also make two other changes. When any button is hovered, it the text wrap, yeah, on the area, yeah, that's right. When any button is hovered, it is emphasized. How do we want to emphasize it? The button background or a button border? Light color, love it, man, love it. ChatGPT, absolutely. Super valuable tool. So here's confirm custom character. Yeah, I don't understand the haterade on generative AI. Can someone explain that to me? Do you prefer GPT or Copilot? I use them both. Is Copilot on, by the way? It should be on. Yeah. I use them both. Why pick one? Learn how to code. Yeah, the idea that someone who uses GPT doesn't know how to code, I really don't understand the haterade. I've been coding for over 10 years. It just makes things quicker. Why would you not use that? It's like telling someone who's like a carpenter, like learn how to cut wood with your bare hands. What do you mean? It's like you're like telling a Daytona driver learn how to run. Look at that hover. We love to see it. I guess it needs a pointer cursor, doesn't it? The my name is still not removed. Let's check on that. Show name button. Show name input and then name button destroy. Let's see, console.log, name button clicked. Look at my website, Better Solara. Why do I want to look at your website? There's that button again. All right, I'll come back and deal with that bug separately. Destroying name button clicked. It does log. It does log destroying text animation. So name button clicked does log, but it's not being destroyed. My other buttons do not use a destroy method. Let's see. Reject button. My other buttons are on the class. Set visible. It's set visibility. Are you streaming on another platform? Yeah, we're on LinkedIn, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok, probably some other places. My other buttons hide with code like my other buttons like the control with visibility instead of using destroy. Are you sure destroy works? Somehow the button remains visible. In addition, you have updated the hover style correctly for this button. but not for other buttons. Please update the entire component for button consistency. Also suggest whether or not a cursor pointer style is also optimal. Victor, thank you for the follow. John, thanks for the follow. Coder while using ChatGPT. Yeah, what's with the hate? I don't get it. Blitz DZZ on YouTube is using laughing face and pointing emojis. Make it make sense, buddy. You just sound like a hater. I feel like laughing about AI in 2024 and mocking AI is like mocking computers in 1950. So here's create button method. Set cursor pointer. Are we also repeating? Yeah, we're repeating the style call. How to get into software engineering with a CPA background. I just got a job as a data analyst. You can do a coding boot camp. You could also work from data analyst to data engineer and from data engineer to software engineer. I think those are two paths. Let's move create button to utils.ts and type it. I guess it's data engineering though, so how was Stripe? What's up, Taran? Yeah, Stripe didn't make an offer. That's a bummer. Hey, Ellie, it's still nap time. Bye. Ask GPT to give you in component style instead of functions. Like a React component? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do React inside of Phaser inside of React. That's too problematic. It's problematic. What do you guys do before buying shares at a startup? I don't generally buy shares at a startup. What do you do? I'm like an index type of person. I like to minimize my risk. I want create function to be ES6 style. I mean, like when you join a startup, do you buy shares at strike price? I don't think I have a general rule for that. I think it's going to vary on the company. Okay, so this looks pretty good, I think. Then over here, we change create buttons. Nice. Bathsheba, welcome, welcome. Thanks for the likes. So we never created name button. Okay, well, I guess it didn't render it in the code. It just sort of talked about it. That's fine. That's fine. So I just want to make another button instance that looks like these others. So here's reject button. That seems fine. All right, let's check it out. So we're still creating text objects. Yep. Return scene.add. Ellie, Ellie, get in your own room. Stop playing with your brother. Sam, close your door. You're supposed to be taking a nap. Hope you get Amazon. Good luck. Thanks, Taran. Okay. So I have my types here. This is good. Thanks for the follow. Where is button? Scene.add. Okay, so it's chained. Okay, cool. Create button. Create button will be its own commit, I think. By the way, Aria's Tale has its own TikTok if you want to follow that. So ariastale.com, in the upper right, there's the TikTok button. And it's got its own like art and lore. So if you're interested in that side of it, check out ariastale.com and click the TikTok button. Cool. Now I can hover. Nice. Now we get a better affordance of where we're hovering. Hey, that's not me. Name. My name is, what is this thing? Okay. My name is, the name button here is not showing up. Oh, what's your name then? My name is, so let's add a console.log here. Am I creating the button over and over? Okay. Let's see. Show name button called. So we called it, but it is not rendering. Cool. Yeah, just missing visibility call. and it's not set to false. Although the show name input shows up. Here's the show name input. So this shows up. So it shows up. Is the callback not triggered? It is triggered because show name input shows up. This visibility thing is not working though. Thanks for the likes. Let's see if that helps. Maybe we need to call clear current text. Okay, it's not created yet. So do I want to create it at the beginning? Maybe. Thanks for the likes. Marwin. Oh, the confirm button is also not styled properly. Maybe because in this context, this dot name button needs a different reference. Let's do this. Const name button. We'll see if that helps. I'm not sure. It's still there. Not sure what it changed, but let's try it. I'm doing Command-Shift-Z, Command-Z a few times to see what the difference is. Looks like it just took the underscores away. I don't think that changed anything. Show name button called is showing up multiple times. Do I have two different buttons called the show name button? Yeah, I don't think that changed anything. I'll show the whole file now. Now we're past 3, so I can go back to 3 p.m. on my time, so I can go back to Claude if I want to. So I'll try this out, but I am wondering why it's having inconsistent buttons. Okay. Let me stage what I got. So I staged what I got. That way I can see the diff, Command AVS. Refresh VS Code. Here we can see the diff. So it's dropping my comments. That's fine. I could take or leave them. But I'm gonna restore them. Okay. It's taking out console logs. That's fine. And it's adding name button to this. It's not really changing the logic. It's just binding it to this. Maybe that'll help. Let's see. And here, what did it do? It removed a comment. Yeah, there's nothing. Okay, let's try it. Maybe putting it on this helps for some reason. Okay, it's not helping and it's not understanding. I don't know why this would help, but let me try that. Do the classic got here. You'll love to see it. Yeah, so we got to got here. Not really sure why create confirm button is separated out. I guess it's fine though. Show name input. Yeah, I don't want that to be two methods. All right, well, they're all using the style now. That's nice. Why is it not hiding? All right, let's go take it over to Claude. Might not be triggering a redraw. That's one that I'm suspicious about. Name buttons click handler. We now explicitly destroy the name button when it's clicked. Okay, so we're going back to the destroy thing. I don't understand why we need this, but I'll try it. Okay. All right. Ellie, you're supposed to be taking a nap and you're doing a very bad job. Okay, well now it's gone. I thought we tried the destroy thing earlier. Something must have changed in the meantime. New person. Oh, I want it to remain selected. Cool, here's new person. Hey, I can get a weapon, great. Store weapon? That's weird. Okay, so that was good. So let's commit that. Is this block needed? Let me try removing this and see if it still works. Is it calling that method an additional time somehow? Yeah, that's causing the issue. That's crazy. How is it called? I'm not sure. Now, why can I not move this into, so here's show name input, name button destroy, clear current text. Why can I not move this into here? That's a different error. It's because of my clicking around. I guess we'll not get to that one in the current stream, but I'll fix that later today. It's still there. It's still there. Yeah, I really don't get it. Okay, I think that's going to wrap it up for now. This is going to fix name button not hiding. Next things that I want to do, fix the cut issue, support showing a selected state. Let me make a GitHub issue. Better Aria's tail. Dreamer narrative background with start game screen. Audio for text typing and dialogue typing. What else are we going to add? We're going to add attacks have a basic animation like shaking the damaged character image, more than one character image, player character name shows on battle heads up display. We didn't talk about that much, but that's a small, nice thing that I added. And so now fix bug where too many clicks during typing effect causes a cut issue. That's one bug. What's the other bug? Or clicking on continue listening buttons in quick succession. Feature persist a selected state on class selection. Then I went to access, like easier inventory, scene access, and equipment declares stat effects. Ability to sell items in the store. We'll sell at 50% of cost floored. And then I want to have, like, I'll just set up the next release. Better Aria's Tale Adventure release. Blocked by. This one implements character stats like persuasion and others. This one, we can do the maps in this one. Add maps. Add more non-battle encounters. Persuasion influences sales price on your item, or like buy and sales price. Persuasion influences store buy and sell prices instead of selling at flat 50% cost over time. Maybe includes parties, or that can be another release. Cool. Maps will be great. Not going to get to maps today, I don't think. So here's the current position of the code. Name button not hiding. We'll push that. And that's going to wrap for today's stream. I'll be able to close this issue today. And then we'll see when I get to the adventure issue. That's going to be fun. Thanks for being here. Hope you'll follow the page and see you next time.